Welcome to Punk's Talk Wrestling! On this episode, the swerves on the road to Wrestlemania continue as we head straight into the Elimination Chamber. This week we review Elimination Chamber 2012. I am the punk rock prince of PA, R.W. Hellborn, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! One half of the crown, which is one half of your Punk's Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion hosts of the world! And always virtually by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England. He is my tag team podcast partner. He is the other half of the crown, which is the other half of your Punk's Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion host of the world, Mr. Did You Know, Sir King of Reels, the proper brick CJ Newman!
Did you know that in 1999, WWE, WWF, broke their attendance record for a Monday Night Raw, and it has never been beaten since.
An attendance for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, February 13th, 1999, so actually near enough to the day.
Near enough to a week ago.
So, can you guess? I'll give you 3 guesses as to what the all-time attendance record is for a Monday Night Raw.
Oh, geez. I mean, like, how exact? Like,
to the 1,000, yeah.
Okay, to something around 1,000. Okay, like, all-time attendance for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I want to say 57,000.
No.
Is that
It's less. I'll give you that.
It's less than that. Okay.
That's high. That's high.
That's high. That okay.
Well, I'm not saying that's too high. I'm just saying that I didn't expect
that's a
you
lot.
to go
Yeah.
that
50,
high.
43,000.
I'll give you that. Fuck it. I'll give you that. It's 42,894.
Oh, dude, round it up. That's 43,000. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Second
Ding,
tried.
Boom,
Man.
look at that.
Whew.
It was at the Sky Dome in Toronto, Ontario. 42,894 people was the highest attendance for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, that's a fucking that's a stadium show for a television show.
Yeah.
That's mad. It wouldn't surprise me.
It's like you might say blimey to it, right?
I probably wouldn't say blimey. I would say that's very stereotypical of you.
What about if I said what was?
I mean, my most go-to response to something like that is something you would probably say, but it's the way I say it.
Yeah.
But I'd go, fucking hell. Like that.
I was gonna say it's definitely fuck something.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
No, there's no. Get rid of the G. There's no G.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. And there's no H. Just
there's
fucking
H.
hell.
Yes. Well, that's the difference because my fucking hell is a pronounced H.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
Or you can say, oh, cool. Like that.
That just sounded like a bird call.
Cool.
You just made a call. Like, you just say, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
But you say, cool.
Cool.
Like that. Cool.
Cool. That doesn't sound like a word.
I don't know if you know, but that the full phrase of blimey is core blimey. Core blimey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Core blimey. Like that.
Oh, why didn't you keep it together? That actually sounds like something.
Yeah, core blimey. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a little bit of British slang for you.
Yeah, there's. Oh man, can I
Some
just
of it
teach you a
sounds like
couple
bird
right
talks.
now? Can I just teach you a couple?
You can try.
Okay. There's
I'm
two
gonna use them
because my
incorrectly.
friend specifically asked me to tell you these, so I'm going
Okay.
to. So I'm gonna say them to you.
Yeah, and then
you're
I'll try
gonna-
to use, and then I'll
Yeah.
just use them.
So
Without context first. Okay.
pony.
Pony? Like
Yeah.
Pony?
Yep, pony.
Okay. Oi! He's a dumb pony over there. That fucking pony ain't shit.
Okay, that's funny that you say that. Pony means shit.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny you said that pony ain't shit because you said that shit ain't
not
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
So what you would normally, in the context you would say it, is I'm just going to go for a pony.
Ah, okay.
My other one, there's three actually. Kazi.
Kazi. Karzi, like Karz.
Get rid of the R, just Kazi.
Kazi. Kaz.
Like kamikaze, but Kazi.
Kamikaze. Oh. Oi!
It always starts with the oi, doesn't it?
Oi! Oi!
Does that help you get into character or something?
Me and me mates are heading down to the pub. We get
Yeah.
myself some biscuits and a kazi.
I thought you were going to get it then, kind of. If you had
see?
said,
Hey, I'm getting close.
me and my mates are going to go down to the Kazi, still quite weird because you and your mates wouldn't do that, but the Kazi is the toilet.
Wow, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. So
You've
you
got a
said,
lot of slang
I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to go to the Kazi to take a pony. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
Well. Yeah.
And I got one more.
There's certainly other reasons why several people might go to the Kazi together, and it would be
Oh yeah,
drugs related.
This is true. I got loads of slang terms for those. And the last one is Bristol's.
Bristol's. Oh, all right. Oi!
Fucking there it
Can't
is
come
again.
down to the pub tonight. I caught me a case of the Bristols. Bristol's on me bollocks.
Okay, so Bristol's is breasts, boobies.
I mean, that would be. I
I've
mean,
got,
if you had,
I've got Bristol's on my bollocks.
yeah. I mean, if someone was putting their breasts on your balls, you might be inclined to stay where you are.
Yeah.
long
There you
as
go.
it's-
So now you know. Pony,
All right.
Kazi, Bristol's.
Pony, Kazi, and Bristol. So, two shits and boobs. So,
Two shits and boobs.
two shits and tits. Shits and tits. Hashtag
Yeah, hashtag shits and tits.
shits and tits. I mean, I don't know that. I'm not sure that you can get. I don't know if curse words get past the hashtags police or whatever the systems are. There's certain things like you can't be like hashtag I'm gonna murder you like or so, like there's there's obviously certain things you can't
Yeah, there's certain things you can't
they're,
say.
they're gonna get flagged. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm pretty sure if there is a line, shits and tits is either close to it or way over it.
Good though. Sounds like a album from
guess
like a
it sounds-
70s punk band or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and on that
yeah.
note,
On that note, that's why we talk about what was Elimination Chamber. Yeah, what is Elimination Chamber 2012, right?
well, not
Yeah.
yet because we go into this week first, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did kind of start talking about this week, and I
Yeah.
forgot we were recording that part.
How's about we talk about what the fuck's been going on this week? It's crazy. We are what now? 6 weeks away from WrestleMania, which is crazy to think.
6.5 weeks.
6.5 weeks. Holy fuck.
6.5
So
weeks.
6.5 weeks from WrestleMania. Still loads of story to be told. I mean, we just come off of Raw last night, and there's stories beginning to be told, or at least picking things back up again, like with Jimmy and Jay and everything like that. But it's crazy. We're this close to WrestleMania, and everything's still very, I don't know. Everything's still really hectic.
I have no fucking clue what's going to happen, man.
Yeah, and
I don't have any idea what's going to happen anywhere.
Mainly concerning the main event, obviously, but I think all week long I've been coming up with so many scenarios. My latest scenario, obviously, we know that The Rock, Roman Reigns has kind of brought The Rock on his side and into the bloodline. By the way, his fucking heel promo from SmackDown last week was absolutely incredible. Roman's brought on The Rock as into the bloodline to obviously help him going into WrestleMania, and obviously Seth is on the edge here. I'm sure he will eventually be brought on by Cody Rhodes to help be in his corner. Now, my thinking is that we all know Seth's history with Cody, and we all know that a few weeks ago that Cody Rhodes took cancel with The Rock, and we had that whole schmoozing going on there where it ended up being Cody. So what if The Rock is actually in Cody's corner and Seth is actually in Roman's corner? Like a big old double turn.
It's crazy because it's crazy enough to work.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
I mean, there's multiple ways. This comes down to a lot of subtle clues, subtle hints. People were already saying that when The Rock said "you will lose at WrestleMania,"
he pointed
or whatever, he was pointing at Roman Reigns instead.
Yeah. Another big thing.
I don't know that that's the case. Like,
I mean, it could, and this could be nothing at all. But earlier this week, Stone Cold Steve Austin just posted on his Instagram page just a video of his Titantron video. He didn't post a caption. He didn't post anything else. He just posted that. And obviously, he could just be doing that to just get people talking. But
of course he could.
If The Rock's in Roman's corner, then why can't Stone Cold Steve Austin be in Cody Rhodes' corner? So you never know. That would definitely be interesting as well. So
there's a number of
endless possibilities.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of what they've done, because
it was mainly, I think, when it comes to WrestleMania season, it was always the main event was always quite predictable. At least for the last 10 or so years, the main event's been very predictable. Where like you kind of, whether it's what the result you wanted or a result you didn't want, it was always like, I kind of know what's going to happen here. Because
of what they've done, because they've destroyed the fourth wall again at a higher level. Because like we've had conversations with people that don't care, like who the fuck cares about the length of Roman's reign and beating Hogan's reign? I'm like, I do. I fucking care about it, and I know there's other people that care about it too.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have they have the only opportunity they're ever gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
I still see, no matter what, I still see no way. I still see no way that they don't have Roman beat Hogan's reign. But I am totally at a fucking loss as to how they're going to do it based on what's going on now. Like, how is Roman going to leave? How's he going to leave with all of this?
Yeah, I just don't see at this point right now. I'd be very, 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 very surprised if Cody doesn't walk out of WrestleMania with that championship. Everything is, it's all just written in the stars right now. Everything's aligning perfectly for this to happen. And sometimes sometimes we always want unpredictability. And I'm not saying that it by any means it's predictable. We've already said it's not predictable. But I think that we definitely, I feel like it's the right thing to do, and sometimes doing the right thing and doing what's best for business. And I feel like having Cody win the championship is what's best for business, because I think if you hold it off any longer, Now, I'm not too much of a believer in this, but in this one instance, I actually am. It's kind of it's winning me over. When people say, "Well, if you don't pull the trigger now, it'll be too late, and it won't have the same impact." Now, I would never normally say that.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that either. But with this, part of me does, because I think we've had obviously last year with Cody and Roman, and Cody lost. And I think if you don't do it this year, I actually do think that will then hinder. It will hinder a lot of things. I think sometimes you need to give the people what they want, and people clearly want this. I don't think you've had a face with this much love since Daniel Bryan, and they had to pull the trigger with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. If they held it any longer, I think there would have been major backlash. And obviously, you've got a lot of new viewers right now, and for sure, they're on a. I mean, we were saying that we feel like, within the last few months, we've been saying we feel like wrestling's in a boom. It's like, no, wrestling is in a boom now. That's just fact.
It certainly is.
And so, I think if Cody loses, you might dishearten a lot of new viewers by not giving them a bit of endorphins, basically.
I made a wild theory myself, which is going to start at Elimination Chamber.
Wait, I think I know what this is.
Yeah. I think that the path towards everybody getting everything that they want, it involves this. It all comes down to the contracts. You know, the Rock's. We talked about this before. The Rock's thing. The Rock's thing about him getting a match at WrestleMania is in his contract. There's a Money in the Bank contract, but what does the contract actually say? And what does the contract that Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble means that he gets to face Roman. He gets his choice of who to face at WrestleMania for what championship. So what are the terms of that actual contract? Contracts. Contracts are what everything's a fuck about. I'm dealing with fucking contract issues in my real life right now that's stressing me out. So this is doubly hitting home for me. I think in Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley walks out as undisputed world champion by cashing in the Money in the Bank contract on Seth Rollins. That's how I think we end that. I don't know how we get there. It's extremely insane, but we get there by the means of what is in the contract. And I am sure that Mommy No has read that contract when they switched it into his purple briefcase. Like, I am sure she knows what's in that contract. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we might get there. It's insane. Either way, that doesn't hinder the main event of WrestleMania. And I think the way we still get what I want and you want, it would just drive Seth insane. And I think it's a way to get Seth Seth Rollins into a fatal 4-way at the main event for the title, is him losing the title in a way that was completely unexpected.
Yeah.
And they had no, Cody Rhodes wins. Cody Rhodes wins the match. And he wins the match. And I don't know, it doesn't matter. He might pin The Rock, but Cody Rhodes is going to win the match without beating Roman Reigns, with still not beating Roman Reigns.
I don't know if you can make, this has to be a singles match. I don't think you can. It just has to be a singles match. I don't think you could do anything else. But
okay, even if it is, even if Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns is a one-on-one match for the championship, Cody Rhodes can still win. But by way of the contract and what the contract stated in his win at the Royal Rumble, it will have been stated that the that it would only be for the WWE heavyweight championship. The one that the clip that you posted on our Instagram today in the reels was Cody coming out to The Rock with that championship, not the Universal title. The original, the one with the lineage, is the only one that Cody actually cares about.
The WWE Championship.
WWE Championship. The Universal Championship is the one with the record attached to it. So Cody wins, but because of the way the contracts were written, the match was only for the now not unified title. This is why getting the unified undisputed world championship on Rhea Ripley in her city, it would be a huge, insane fucking thing. but it unifies those. It gets Seth's title gone in a way, because the truth is that title is meaningless. It really is. That World Heavyweight Championship doesn't mean anything because Seth is the only one that's held it right now. Until there is the one with the lineage is the one that matters, and Roman Reigns beating Hogan's record with the Universal titles lineage is what truly will cement the Universal Championship title as a legitimate title as well. Like, I think that's the play. I think that's the ultimate play, and we've heard this before. Just as like when he was Universal Champion, you would hear Paul Heyman when he's walking to the ring, telling Roman Reigns, "You're the one to make that makes this champion. You being Universal Champion is what makes the Universal Championship relevant." Like, they've played into the idea of Roman Reigns making the Universal Championship finally relevant, because he's the one that brought it to the island of relevancy. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, the Universal Championship at the time when he won that title, it wasn't too much of a meaningful championship, and he's obviously made it meaningful for sure. I still think that come WrestleMania, in my estimations, I reckon that either way, The Rock is. I don't think The Rock is part of the bloodline. I think The Rock is most certainly playing Roman Reigns at his own game here.
I certainly believe there's still more to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I do think they may be pulling here is if Cody straight up wins the championship at WrestleMania and then leaves Roman with nothing, I reckon on the next night on Raw, you could most certainly do what you did fucking 2011, I believe, and just have The Rock and Roman come out the next night on Raw and set the main event for WrestleMania 41 a year before, just like they did with John Cena and The Rock. I think the match is big enough that you could definitely set it a year out, and it would be totally fine to do that. And that way, I think the reason people don't want to see that match this year is because of the championship. People want to see that match just as a match, just like it was with Cena and Rock, just like it was with The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Like, they want to see it without a title involved because it's just more about the attraction of that match than it is. It shouldn't be for a title, because plus making it for a title, it kind of almost makes it predictable. You kind of think, well, obviously the Legend's not going to win the championship. Obviously, of course he could, but we'd rather that not happen.
Yeah, I mean, and the end result is at the end of the day, there's still a way for Triple H to give me what I want, and also to give me what I want.
Every week.
Give us what I want, Hunter. Give us what I want.
All right. How's about we talk about the main brunt of this episode this week, which is our review of 2012's WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I got a little tidbit to go into before we get deep into this, just to set the scene and make us feel like we're back in 2012.
I like a little setting the mood.
Let's contextualize, shall we? It's 2012. We've got the London Olympics. All right, we've got the London Olympics. Big time for me being in London. It was a huge deal back then. I don't really know what else happened in the world, but I do know that the Olympics happened and it was a big deal.
It did happen. Yeah, it's usually a big deal to the place that it happens.
And also that there was that massive shipwreck. Do you remember that? Like a massive shipwreck. Do you remember that?
At the Olympics? No.
No, not the Olympics. It was like this shipwreck happened, and it was like this huge like.
Was it the thing that was it when the thing blocked the
oh no, the
canal?
Suez canal. No, it was like that. It was like a big. Like cruise ship, it tipped on its side. No one died, I don't think, but it which is great.
If no one died, then it probably, I wouldn't have heard of it.
Yeah, but I think it kind of capsized, and the captain just fucked off. He didn't do anything about it. So that happened. What else do we have in 2012?
Whoops! Guess I don't have this job no more. I might as well just swim away.
Django Unchained, The Dark Knight Rises came out. Skyfall came out. You know, we had The Hobbit came out in 2012. The Life of Pi. Many good films come out in 2012. I also thought I'd look back, and since this is a Punks Talk Wrestling, we had plenty of great punk rock albums come out in 2012. We had Hot Water Music. Do you know Hot Water Music by any chance?
Not personally.
They're a good band. Check them out. Hot Water Music. Masked Intruder released their self-titled album, Masked Intruder. In 2012, probably the Menzingers' best album on the Impossible Past came out then as well. Teenage Bottle Rocket released Freak Out. The Skints released Part and Parcel. Off released Off. Many good punk rock albums from 2012. So I just thought I'd just throw us back, set the mood, set the tone before this pay-per-view really sets the tone of 2012, because boy fucking howdy did it. So yeah, let's actually get into the pay-per-view. So we have,
let's actually get into it.
Elimination Chamber 2012 live, by the way, known as No Way Out in Germany, and it always has been known as No Way Out in Germany. Do you know why that is?
Because they didn't want it to sound like gas chambers.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's usually what everything, when something's named something different in Germany, it's because they don't want people to think about the Nazis.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. We live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from the Bradley Center, to an attendance of 15,306 people.
Shout out to Wisconsin for naming the venue after my son.
Yeah, I was gonna call it your son's name center.
Yes. That's probably more information that I shouldn't be putting out on the internet. We don't need that. We might get popular at some point. I'll edit that out.
Yeah. So. You want to run down the commentators and other on-screen personnel?
I do want to run them down, because we've got Michael Cole, Booker T, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. Carlos Cabrera and Marcelo Rodriguez, Spanish commentators. Backstage interviewer Josh Matthews. He was a tough enough
contestant. The first series, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Referees Mike Chioda, John Cohn, Scott Armstrong, and Jack Doan.
We had a pre-show, well, not pre-show, a dark match that happened before the event, which was Hunico versus Alex Riley. Fucking throwback right there.
Was that still, holy shit, was it Sunday Night Heat still a thing at this point?
No, this was just a dark match. Just straight up dark match. No nothing else.
Also attendance. We had 15,306.
Yep.
And a buy rate of 178,000. Once again, not something that they always list, but to listeners who know anything about buy rates, let us know if that's a good or average buy rate.
I've got no idea.
No clue.
No.
No idea.
And another thing to note is that Sheamus is on the poster for this event. I find it very funny that in the poster, it literally just says Sheamus.
Sheamus. It just says, it really does. It just says Sheamus, and he's not on the card at all.
Yeah. Before we get into any of this, I put out the vote on our Instagram page on a story yesterday, and as it stands right now, it's 50-50. What is your favorite chamber? The modern day one that we've used since 2017, or is it the one from 2003 to 2017, the original chamber?
I am a fan. I am more a fan of the original chamber.
Yeah.
It feels a little more. It feels a little more
unsafe.
Like unsafe. It really does. It feels a little more
because it is more unsafe.
Because it is more unsafe. But it really had. There are ways you can. You can still be safe in an unsafe environment. It's in an unsafe environment.
Yeah.
But it really did give me. What am I trying to say here? Like, the look of it looks more imposing, whereas the newer one looks more
game showy.
Something about the cage actually being round made it seem more of
you're right. I did like the roundness.
It was really the circular structure that made it feel more gladiator arena-ish,
and like it was like we'd never seen a cage that wasn't anything but square up into this point,
that's what it. See, there it is. As we talk about it, we get to the root.
And I do remember like when the first Elimination Chamber happened in 2003. I remember the vignette videos that they would play on Raw and SmackDown to advertise it, and like them building the chamber, and it was like, fuck, this thing looks devilish, like hellish. And when it got revealed, I was like, shit, it is pretty fucked up looking.
However, because Hell in a Cell is still a thing, Hell in a Cell is still a thing, right? When's the last time we've had a Hell in a Cell? Oh, we had Cody versus Seth in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that was the last time.
I understand why making it a less hellish looking like the Elimination Chamber looks scarier than Hell in a Cell, like the Hell in a Cell cage looks.
Yeah.
The new Elimination Chamber doesn't look as scary as Hell in a Cell, so Hell in a Cell can be the scariest thing because you can't change Hell in a Cell now. The cage, it is that thing, that the Hell in a Cell cage is what it is. That'll never be changed. As we saw when the dumbest fucking moron that's ever had any influence on professional wrestling tried to make a three layered piece of garbage into what they tried to call a War Games match. It doesn't fucking work. The War Games is the only way the War Games match is a War Games match is when you have two rings and a cage around.
That's what a War Game. Don't just rename a fucking match.
Don't just call a pile of shit War Games pile of shit. Like it's just a pile of shit. Go back and watch our War Game. Yeah, because we talk about that in the War Games episode.
Yeah, briefly touch on it at least, don't we? Yeah. So real quick, I'm just spouting out notes and facts today. I'm just full of them.
Yeah, because you've got all the notes and facts. I'm the reactionary. I'm the play-by-play.
Because this is our first Elimination Chamber review of any kind that we've ever done.
Yes, it is.
I thought I'd look into the chamber itself. So the chamber took 6 to 8 weeks to make. It was made in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and it cost $250,000 to construct.
Damn, that's
expensive, boy.
That's not as expensive as I expected it to, but I'm sure the shipping charges more than made up for it.
Yeah. Well, the total weight was 16 tons, 10 of which consists of steel, and we had 2 miles of chain, which was 6 tons in the weight of all of that.
Yeah.
And then we had the plexiglass, which was where are we? Yeah, the plexiglass was $250 per sheet in itself.
Okay.
And
yeah,
it took
plexiglass ain't cheap. That seems reasonable.
One entire 50-foot flatbed truck to transport the whole chamber.
Oh, only one.
Yeah, but I guess that's the whole
still,
truck, an entire 50-foot truck.
Yeah, but I guess when you think of it though, that's it. It's a whole lot. I mean, it's a whole lot of things that will stack neatly on top of each other.
Yeah,
it's a constructor kit.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's certain arenas that will not allow the Elimination Chamber due to its size.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's restrictions. Because they have to have a way to hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just and not just that.
That's crazy, don't you think? Like a 16-ton structure just hanging there. Now I'm thinking about it. Going to one of these events, sitting in the front row, I'd be looking up at that thing the whole time, thinking, we're moments away from
one of those things
disaster.
Goes,
yeah. One of those things goes, I'm gone.
That's the thing. The weight disperse. The engineering marvels that's one of the things that I don't have too much of a worry when it comes to stuff like that, because there's so many checks and balances. Like, of course, accidents can happen, but like, I don't think there's someone can do the research. If we don't want to, and I don't want to, of any time a cage has ever fallen from the ceiling,
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah,
touch wood, it never does. I don't want it to.
Early on, they would build the cage, like they would bring them out, the old big big blues, and even the old cages from before. They would bring them out, they would bring them out and put them together at ringside during the event. They wouldn't have, because they didn't have the ways to hang them and stuff at that point.
Yeah. So going into the first match, before I do, I just wanted to say that when they introduced the Spanish commentators, I've never heard a man speak so fast in my fucking life. It was
really fucking fast.
It was so fast. I was just bewildered. I was impressive. It was really impressive. Another thing to note is the door is fucking humongous. I don't remember it being that big, but it's just huge. Yeah, that big swivel gate, and the giant gate, the giant door comes into play in the first match. It does, yeah. It also made, and that's another thing that made the thing just seem way more threatening. I don't know, the door was just huge, just stupidly big. So first match of the card, and I've lost the card, so bear with me. Here we go. It's CM champion CM Punk versus The Miz, Chris Jericho, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler with Vicky Guerrero and R-Truth. Yeah, we get ourselves a nice little dose of 2012 R-Truth. It's 12 years ago, and I mean, R-Truth is in really good shape. Hashtag R-Truth, the truth. But actually, Truth is still in really good shape, but back then he was in great shape. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was a lot of fun. Oh, dude, I mean, solid elimination, and this is early. This is still early on in Elimination Chamber. Well, this is early on in the Elimination Chamber as its own pay-per-view. As its own pay-per-view, yeah. It's been going. This is the 9th year of the Elimination Chamber at this point. But yeah, this was a really good match. I feel like the 6 people in this match were probably the perfect 6 people. Like, if you were to say describe 2012 in 6 people in professional wrestling, this is pretty much it. Like, it's a good. I'd add a few people from the that was the SmackDown one, wasn't it? Yeah, from the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, and probably chuck in Randy Orton. The other side of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like the 12 people involved in these matches were pretty much the WWE in 2012, spot on. Everything. I mean, this was still the lead up to WrestleMania too. Yeah, so yeah. They are showcasing everyone. Yeah, everyone everyone that they want to be pushing and showing, they're doing it here. It was so good to fucking hear Kofi Kingston's old theme song, by the way. That's just a quick side note, but I haven't heard that thing in years. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We really good stuff, like between Kofi and Punk starting the match. Like those two have really good chemistry. Obviously, they were tag team champions for a while, so that was they obviously got a lot of good chemistry between the two of them. And everyone involved in this match was just fucking great. Just put on a really good showing of who they were and their place in the card at this time. It's fucking crazy to see. I never really thought much about the metal grating on the outside. I was like, shit, that's kind of fucked up. But now looking back on it, like that was really fucked up.
Yeah.
Now the chambers opening every 5 minutes or so, whatever, that becomes more of the match now than it
That's
did.
more the part of the point. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Whereas before it was like the danger of it, and there's still danger in it, of course, but like you think back to like Hell in a Cell or cage matches and stuff where you had like, you know, they'd fight on the top and stuff and it would be like the cage and you get slammed on it. Like, yeah, I know it's metal, but it's like, it's kind of forgiving. It's got like, it bends and it bows.
It does have a little bit of
got some give, right? But this was just like, just metal. It's steel. It's just straight up fucking steel. There's nothing else about it. It's just steel. And it's just crazy that
made sense.
Proposed and someone went, yeah, that will do that. It's just
because you're like you said, it is about, it puts more focus on the every 5 minutes someone exits a pod as that's what the match is more about than the danger of the cage that you're in. Leave the danger of being in a cage to the cage match and the Hell in the Cell match.
Yeah.
You're not like a good D&D party. All of the gimmick matches in WWE are like members of a D&D party. They've got their specialty, they've got their thing, and you don't want, like, while it's good to have some level of crossover, you need the specific gimmick match. You need the gimmick of the match to be the most important thing about that match.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And the gimmick for the gimmick for the Elimination Chamber is there's chambers that you get and you get eliminated.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Where, you know. So that's all there is to that. That's all we're going to say about that because I think we've said it now thrice.
But the match kind of came to an end with one thing I thought was fucking hilarious was obviously Jericho kind of gets knocked like out of the door and like swings around and hits a cameraman and stuff and knocks himself out.
This is the one note this was the one note that I have on this match.
What is it?
Everybody was, for that entire time while Jericho was unresponsive, unconscious, everyone was checking on Jericho. Everyone was seeing if he's okay.
Yeah.
And the other cameraman laying literally right next to him, also unconscious. Not a goddamn person gave a shit about that guy.
That's exactly what my note says. I just thought it was so hilarious that Jericho was being attended to by like referees and the doctor and everything. Yeah. And that other camera guy was just like in worlds of pain with a camera laying on top of him, and no one.
He's got 25 pounds of equipment on him. He was probably in actual pain. You know?
But no one even acknowledged him. It's almost like he was like trying to make it sound worse or look worse.
Did you notice the one moment where like he looks like side eyes to people and like, oh, they're still not paying attention to me. I gotta close my eyes again. Like he's like, is anyone gonna do anything? Oh shit, I've got to be knocked out too. Like,
yeah, it was so good. It was
funny. He didn't know if he could move or should move. It was fucking great. Basically one of the best parts of that pay-per-view. Like that's the bit best. That hashtag bit best.
Bit best. It is.
That's the bit best. Now people know that's not even how that hashtag came about, but we're going to change it to be a bit now.
We're keeping
that's
it.
The bit
there it
best.
is.
Hashtag bit best of the night in the first match.
Yeah, that's in my notes, and I thought it was the funniest fucking thing. But yeah, Jericho sold that so well. Like, obviously it was a planned spot, but he looked legitimately knocked the fuck out. Like, I thought he was for a second there. I was like, I don't remember this happening.
Yeah.
Like, and you could tell the crowd, like, with CM Punk, like, kneeling there, watching what was happening, and, like, everything stopping for a bit. The crowd kind of went deathly silent. I think everyone in the crowd also thought that it was legit too. So
yeah, it certainly was not instantly known. Like,
yeah,
he
for
wasn't
sure.
because he wasn't moving at all. Like,
No, he had his mouth was open and he didn't move one bit. Yeah,
yeah, that's what really sold. That's what basically sold it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually got injured, if he really did or not get injured.
No, I don't think he did. It was basically just to lead to Punk and Jericho at WrestleMania, basically. So
right,
that was just the catalyst for that. But yeah,
obviously bit pass, baby.
CM Punk getting the win, and off we go.
Retained 32 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah. We had next we had a segment backstage of Santino eating raw eggs.
Yes, to prepare for the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, another little tidbit here is that the music playing in the background was actually Eugene's music from back in the day. I don't know why they used it, but yeah, that was Eugene's music.
Little digibonus.
Yeah, digibonus right there.
Hashtag
yeah.
digibonus. Right after, man, we'll get all the hashtags together.
Then we had, and we've got many more of them to come, so we'll get to that later.
Many more hashtags? Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we've got so many hashtags in this pod. We are steadily on the path to the podcast with the most hashtags.
We're as bad as when WWE started using Twitter and they kept force feeding hashtags down our throats.
Oh, dude, what was that fucking app where you like sent like 15-second videos to each other? Like they jumped on like a really early adopter of these like short form video.
Yeah, Vines.
Yeah. They jumped on that shit. Like, They've always been.
Yeah, well, on the note of
an organization that has pushed technology and pushed industry forwards.
On the note you were just saying there of like other industries, like essentially taking from professional wrestling. Like one of my best mates, Alfie. He's into boxing and MMA, and it's funny actually now because he's a really big UFC fan, and I'm a big WWE fan, and now suddenly our two worlds have become one. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we saw that from Raw last night with a UFC fighter challenging Conor McGregor on Monday Night Raw. Like, what the fuck? What world are we fucking living in? It's
the best fucking world.
Yeah,
in.
It's crazy.
The best world for us. Like that. That's the kind of stuff that actually now makes me. It actually makes me a little bit interested in the UFC match. I'm like, oh, they're putting some work into like turning this into a story, like in a sense.
Well, so that's where I was getting to. So obviously he's been an MMA fan for some time, and when I'm with him at work, he'll like put on some MMA stuff here and there and whatnot, and it's funny because like. There's so many things that they're doing. This is before the merger, by the way. There's so many things that they were doing that were just full-on professional wrestling. Like, they would do these... Obviously, they don't have a weekly show where they can come out to the ring and speak to each other, but they have these press conferences where they talk shit to each other and they make a story. Like, people would insult each other's friends and family and things like that, and they'll make it personal, and some fights won't be personal, some fights will just be about the championship. Like, they're definitely relating to professional wrestling. And then you go and see their pay-per-views, and this goes with boxing as well, boxing more so. Boxing and MMA for years has always been known as having nothing but a curtain that you pull back and they walk out of. If you watch some boxing events now, they have full-on Titantrons. You know what I mean? Yep. And entrance videos and promo videos before the matches. Like, they're taking it all from professional wrestling. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing.
It's not. It's a great thing.
It's a great way to tell a story. Like, but it's crazy how I think.
But it just proves how much better professional wrestling and the WWE is. The WWE is the superior form of sports entertainment.
I totally agree with that. And I think it's just like there are a lot of closed-minded boxing and MMA fans out there that obviously look at the fake, in quotes, combat sport and think, oh, fuck that. But then they don't think they're looking deep enough to see that a lot of the things that they're watching are just taken from professional wrestling. I actually asked my friend, we'll get back to the pay-per-view in a second.
Yeah,
I actually asked my friend, what I was like, now that the merger's happened, like, what would you do, being a big boxing or an MMA fan, if you found out, just like in the world of professional wrestling, it all came out that all of this is scripted? Like, all of it was
for the most part.
Obviously, you really are punching someone in the face, and you really are doing all this. But
you really are going to do those things. But at a certain point, he's going to hit you.
Yeah,
and he's going to you go down.
And you're not going to get up. Like, what would you do if you found out?
And you're still going to get paid.
I was like, what would you do if you found out that everything you've been watching for years was scripted? And he said I would stop watching. But I said, but why? Because, like, it's been entertaining you for years. And
you still don't know who's going to win.
You still don't know who's going to win. You still don't know anything about it. It's still going to entertain you in just the same way. It doesn't matter whether it's scripted or not. But
it does matter to some. That's it. That's what matters to some people.
Yeah, but that's my comeback all the time to people that don't watch pro wrestling, because they'll obviously bring up the fact that it's scripted or fake or whatever they say. And every time I get the word fake thrown at me, I'm just like, because I know that person, I'm like, well, you enjoy Game of Thrones, and every single season of that was fake. Every single season of that was written, like, and you enjoyed it.
It just and the thing, I just stopped trying. I mean, I just stop worrying about people.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
But it is, they're never gonna accept it because they're still so set on the fact that it's fighting, so it has to be real. Otherwise, it's just fake. And there are people that want fights to be real because for whatever reason, they feel attached. Sports. That part of sports fandom, it's understandable because winning validates the winner.
And
if the winner and loser are predetermined, then it's just like when people are like, well, what does it matter how long his reign is if it's all predetermined anyway? Then none of the numbers actually matter. And like, it does matter because it's the reasons why. Yes, it's scripted, but the reasons why they script him to be the champion for this long is because they're putting the responsibility of being champion on him for this long.
Yeah,
and it is a very real responsibility that people don't understand.
Exactly.
He has to be a person that can be a figurehead, that can be a face.
That's like because people will go like,
for good or for bad. So Reigns,
like, if someone's like 10-time champion, like, so, or who cares if they're 10-time champion? Someone decided that they would be that. It's not like it's like because that's the thing. That's the thing. The company have put they've made him the face of their company 10 times because they think he's worthy of it, and that means that is a big deal. That is a big deal, right? Back to the damn pay-per-view. Here we go.
Back to the damn... Where were we at?
We are at... Well, actually, we had a Cena training montage, which was a fucking...
Yeah, man.
So
I did see that.
Because we had Seth Rollins, Xavier Woods, Big E, EC3, Ambrose, and obviously, Roman Reigns, or Lakey, I don't know how you pronounce his name, as he was known on back then. But yeah, that was wild to see Cena training with basically all of today's biggest like modern wrestlers, and you name it. We got EC3 who's in fucking the NWA. We got Ambrose who's in AEW. Like, all big stars and all these different companies all here training with Cena. Then we had Beth Phoenix versus Tamina for the Divas Championship, and in what was actually a really decent match for the Divas era, I will say.
This is pretty much this is kind of the end of that era, right?
Yeah, well, it was trailing off. Pretty soon after this, we had AJ Lee debut and Paige, and like it's the dying days of the Divas era. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I think Charlotte because Charlotte Flair eventually beat Paige, and Charlotte was the champion that they rebranded.
Yeah, and I think around this, I mean, if you think about it, around this time, like NXT was starting was beginning in 2012. So
yeah.
people like Charlotte, Lynch, set like the Four Horsewomen, they were all kind of making their waves in NXT very soon after this. So yeah, I mean, it was the dying days, but still the Divas era was still very much a prominent thing at the time. Women certainly weren't getting treated as equals whatsoever. I mean, we don't even have female elimination chambers at this point. But
we didn't have any of that yet.
But from what it's worth, actually a really decent match. Tamina had a really good showing. Actually, like this is pre multiple knee injuries for Tamina, so she was on a really good form. So after that, we had another Santino training segment backstage. He's got a big bit of slab of meat hanging from the ceiling, and he's punching it.
Yeah,
and then he
beating
that meat, and then he cobras the meat.
Hashtag beating that meat.
Hashtag beating that meat, and then the meat hits him in the face, and we've all been there. And then that was it. Then we had just the fucking shitter of a segment, just the drizzling shits. Then we had Santino doing the Rocky steps, basically.
I did see that.
He just runs up some stairs.
Yeah, I saw all the Santino stuff.
All right, sweet. Okay, cool. And here we go into the second.
I'm pretty sure it's my brain just blocking it from the memory.
Yeah. Here we go. We had the second Elimination Chamber match. So we did have Nope, no we don't. Daniel Bryan, World Heavyweight Champion, versus Santino Marella, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Big Show, and the Great Khali. Cody Rhodes is 26 years old in this match. Isn't that fucking crazy? That's fucking crazy. But I mean, another pretty decent match. We had Big Show obviously did a promo before this match to be like, doesn't have a good WrestleMania track record and really wants to have a WrestleMania moment. Spoiler, he never did. Sorry. So, good match. Actually, was okay. I mean, but yeah, it was really good to see Wade Barrett wrestle again. I haven't seen Wade Barrett wrestle for some
That was
time.
a treat. Yeah, that was a big treat.
Yeah, I think everyone had a pretty decent showing, but bar Khali, everyone had a pretty decent showing in this match.
Yeah.
It was fucking. I mean, Santino Marella kind of got the biggest pop of this entire pay-per-view.
Oh, like, for sure.
This guy was over as fuck.
Well, this was the same. It wasn't this the same year.
He won the Royal Rumble.
He almost won the Royal Rumble. Yeah,
that's right.
Won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, same year.
Yeah. This was Santino was like, Santino was super hot.
So I thought to myself, like, so what we had eventually happened, obviously, we'll get to the match a little bit in a sec, but Daniel Bryan wins, goes on to WrestleMania to face Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship and loses in 8 seconds or whatever it is,
8 seconds,
right?
Because he kisses he kisses AJ.
Yeah. So
and Brogue kick, it was great.
Loved it. Loved it. It was great. But obviously, a lot of people had a lot to complain about. With obviously, they're saying Daniel Bryan got buried, but at the end of the day, it started the Yes movement. So
he didn't at all. They're wrong. They're 100% wrong.
But I was thinking, it would have put history on a completely different trajectory. But if you wanted to go that route and have Sheamus win in 8 seconds. You could have just had Santino win at the Elimination Chamber and have a world title run till WrestleMania just to lose it in 8 seconds.
Yeah, but I think no, because it was Daniel Bryan losing in 8 seconds. That was the plan. Because the WCW World Heavyweight title was still the secondary title. It's still going to be this, and no matter what. The other title is, back to what we were saying, what I said before, the other title is always going to be the secondary title because it doesn't have the lineage. The only thing that makes the thing that makes the Universal title relevant is Roman Reigns breaking Hulk Hogan's record with that lineage.
Yeah.
Solidifying this, end of story. End of that. I don't know how we got there. Oh, no, we got there because of the secondary title problem. Like the secondary title is always going to have a problem with I think
legacy.
At the moment
there's I mean, say Cody does win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, I do think that would then immediately make the world title a little more on par. Only because right now, the championship on Roman Reigns has made this thing is, I don't know, it's not even a fucking championship anymore. It's like it's like the sword and the stone at this point. It's just this legendary fucking thing. And obviously, not to say that when someone wins it, it will be brought down a peg, but of course, like, it won't be attached to Roman Reigns anymore. It's like taking the gauntlet of Thanos. It's not, and but at the same time, the fact that it's been taken off of Roman Reigns by that person builds that person up immediately.
Yes,
so
it makes it's the Cody Rhodes is the Iron Man.
Yeah,
Seth is the Captain America.
Yeah.
And Iron Man gets to do the final. Iron Man gets to do the final snap that defeats Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of deal here.
It'd be great to see every single person that Roman Reigns has beaten over the years come back. Even Edge and Daniel Bryan, like through the forbidden door, like from AEW, and everyone comes back and helps Cody win. That'd be there's some wild crazy things that could happen. Oh, and I think it would be totally insane. And I still think, guess what?
What?
We're gonna fucking be there.
And we're gonna fucking be there.
That's right.
We're gonna be there because whatever it is that's happening.
We're gonna fucking see it when it happens.
We're gonna fucking see it. And the other here's the other reason. Just for one more thing. We might have even touched on it last week. The reason why getting Seth into a fatal 4-way with all four of them puts all of them in the main event. It also leaves the main event of night one, for Bayley versus Io.
True. Yeah. Daniel Bryan ultimately wins. Sheamus comes out. White noise, stares him down, white noise, all that good business. Yeah. And then we move on to the cheese segment.
Natalya farting, and yep, 2012.
2012, huh?
2012 garbage.
Yeah, yep. Hey, you know what? This is what makes us great wrestling fans. We were there, man.
We were there.
We were in the trenches.
We knew they were doing some growing pains.
Yeah.
We stuck with them.
We stuck with it.
Along for the long ride.
All of the bad shit. All of it.
Yeah.
Choppy, your PP. Everything.
All that garbage. Hashtag garbage.
Hashtag garbage. We stuck through it all. And then
now we get to reap the benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Because we know what bad can be.
Yeah.
All these fans that when it gets bad they just leave and then come back when it's good. Like,
oh yeah, you don't know.
Fuck that.
You don't fucking know.
Yeah, you have no idea. So next up we've got the main event, which is Kane versus John Cena in an ambulance match, the second ambulance match of all time.
Oh, okay.
The first being Shane McMahon versus Kane, I think from 2003's Survivor Series, if I've got my facts right. Yeah, so there's, I don't know how many there have been in history, but this was only the second one ever. So yeah, ambulance match. We obviously had a little promo video before this match to see how we got here. And boy, what a storyline, huh? With old Zack Ryder and Eve Torres and fucking John Cena being a home wrecker and kissing Eve Torres and like messed up Zack Ryder in his wheelchair and neck brace and knee, like leg casts. What a weird story. You have to go back and watch it because I forgot about most of that. I definitely forgot about the whole John Cena.
I forgot about all that.
Kissing Eve Torres. One thing I didn't forget about was Zack Ryder being like rolled off the stage. Fucking classic. I love that. I think it's so dumb. But yeah, obviously Kane was trying to get John Cena to embrace the hate. Obviously, this is just a big filler story while we're, he's facing The Rock at WrestleMania. So we're just doing anything with John Cena, basically.
Yeah.
Because The Rock didn't want to work February, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was fun. Kane was in really good shape, which surprised me. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't remember 2012 Kane being in good shape. But
I don't remember him being. I don't remember the shape he was in, but I do remember that the welding mask on top of his other mask.
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
Just like what like.
I think I said to you earlier in the week, like he should have used that on his like return, which he did.
Yeah.
To reveal the new mask because no one had seen it to that point.
Yeah, and then
never used it again. But yeah.
Yeah, now it just doesn't.
Not only that, but like it must have been packed somewhere terribly because it was all misshapen. It wasn't even straight.
Yeah.
It was all bent and stuff. So
because it was probably like a plastic face shield just painted to look
and like it's pretty shoved in like Kane's luggage bag and shipped halfway across America. But the match was good. I mean, it was alright. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was what it was. It wasn't the best match in the world, but it was okay.
You want to see? Yeah, you want to see a good ambulance match? It'll probably make our top 12 ambulance matches because
probably will. It's probably because there's not been much more than that, but probably will. It was okay. It was okay. It was just like nothing crazy happened. Obviously, he had the AA from the top of the ambulance at the end of the match going into one of those things where they don't really show you where they land.
The off-screen landing.
Which was really, really suck for the people that are sitting right next to it that can see Kane land on like 12 mattresses, you know? I guess if there's a kid there, kids want to,
I guess they don't care. I don't know that enough people actually care. Like,
no,
I
wouldn't care. You know what I'm thinking about though is like kids that still think wrestling's real. That's
right.
The thing.
It is real.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
It is real. Sorry,
I thought it was real. Like,
but kids that think that wrestling isn't real. That's what I should say.
Kids that think the fake things in wrestling are real and the real things in wrestling that are
That's
fake.
Right. But to see that with he's sitting there and you're like, oh shit, I thought he was landing into like the concrete. But
there's gonna be it was all done well, you know.
Yeah.
For what it was, for all the things that they were, it was the best you could like. Yeah, I can't say anything more than that. I was very sports entertained.
Yes, I was very sports entertained, and nothing says sports entertained by ending a WWE pay-per-view in 2012 with what? John Cena on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's how we ended the show. Just that was it. Ended.
As a pay-per-view, what do you think? Like overall?
What am I 20 rating or
yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it a 13.
I got a number. I had a number in my head, and that number was 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 12, 13, like in that range.
It is in 13, that range, right? Yeah.
I think 13 is a good because as a pay-per-view itself, it was a little predictable, even with so many people.
Oh yeah, but I think that both chamber matches were good. The stuff with Santino was fun. Yeah. The women's match was nowhere near as bad as what you'd expect it to be from this time period. Like, the ambulance match was fun, but then we had the drizzling shits with John Laurinaitis, and we had.
It's not usual. It's not usual that the bits, like the other bits, bring it down for me. But they weren't great. They were not great. They were not great. They were so bad that it really took me out of the entertainment of the stories of the matches. Yeah, because that stuff was so cringy.
Yeah.
Now that it's just like
I think nothing on this show was great. Things were good, but nothing was great. And, there were a few spots here and there which I thought were really cool, but nothing was great.
It was the pay-per-view before WrestleMania of that era.
Yeah.
Kind of deal where it wasn't. I mean, four titles were defended and no changes. So it was like,
Yeah.
When you have that much, that also kind of loses it for me. Like, even if it's like pretty apparent who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Yeah. And
like
it's great, we live in a time as well where every single PLE that happens every month feels like a fucking big deal. Like everyone feels like a big deal. And this show, even though it's right in the middle, it's on the road to WrestleMania, it didn't feel like a big deal.
It really didn't. Yeah, it really didn't. Because, so there it is. We'll go round it up because we only work in whole numbers here to our 13. But we get 13. I mean, 13 passed. 13 is still above average.
Oh yeah. You want us to rate? You want us to give a pay per view in single digits? Then let's get watching some WCW pay per views.
Yeah. Speaking of what else we're going to be watching.
Well, we are coming now up to the end of our Elimination Chamber month. So next week we will be doing a review of this year's Elimination Chamber event, which is happening on Saturday, which is going to be, I think, 9:30 start for me and a 4:30 start for you. All right. Well, so next week will be our review of that, and then
are you gonna watch it live?
I will be watching it live. Yeah.
I'm debating on whether or not to get up and watch it live. I'm leaning heavily towards yes.
Sweet, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it live because, like, an opportunity to actually watch a wrestling event live and not be tired is great to me.
For you, it's like wake up, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
like,
have breakfast.
For me, it'll be wake up at in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Or just don't go to sleep the night before.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be the other option. I might take a nap Friday, and like completely fuck my entire sleep schedule that I've been working for the last 2 months to regulate up. But that's what I would do for the love of this pay-per-view and what we're about to witness, because if the thing that is so wildly improbable but could happens at Elimination Chamber, I really want to see it as it happens.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Like, I can't miss that if something like that big, because I feel like something's going to happen. Like, I feel like something big is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. To your point, every single one has felt like, holy shit, something's going to happen here.
Yeah. So moving into March will be ultimately our WrestleMania month, I would say.
Yeah, because there's so much to go through.
There's a lot to go into there. Obviously, I'm sure we'll do a review of a WrestleMania. One suggestion I had, we can leave this in the pod or not, it's up to you, Mr. Edda. But one suggestion I had for 1 week for WrestleMania a month is we should go back and watch an old ECW pay-per-view because they were coming from Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
And we've done no ECW since we started this podcast, so that would be quite cool to do something like that. Or we can put it out. We can put it out to the listeners and see if anyone recommends a really good ECW pay-per-view, a fun one. So we can put it out there. So yeah, we'll obviously talk about our calendar. We like to set our month, in advance, and then because
we've got, how many weeks do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. There's 4. There's 5. So we've got 5 more weeks until WrestleMania. We have 5 more
episodes. Yeah,
5 more episodes.
Yeah.
And also it's and we don't necessarily know where things are going to fall right now, because we are still in contract negotiations with Danny the Brain Bauman and you on how to best respond to the response.
Well, there's a lot of legalities here. This is a podcast, and this guy, for all intents and purposes, is a fan of the podcast. I I can't just be
I'm
challenging.
guessing they're a fan. I'm guessing they're a fan.
As I said, for all intents and purposes, it's just like, they're a listener. They're a listener. Let's put it that way. But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. We're talking to the brain about how we're going to do this and how we solve this issue. But yeah, I mean, look, here's the deal. I'm going to presume, just by, how he spells things and the things he says, I'm going to presume that this guy is from the United States of America. So,
it's
funny
likely,
enough,
yeah, we are making assumptions. We're making
assumptions, but I got a feeling.
Pretty sure just by the way,
but I got to, it's funny that because I'm going to be in America for 2 weeks during WrestleMania weekend.
Funny that,
right? So that's as I said, I've made the challenge, and if no better time, my friend. We'll be doing.
I think we can probably set it. Well, I don't know if we can.
Well, we can't set any dates. We can't set any dates just yet because
we can't set any dates yet because
Look, let Danny the Brain do all of the thinking that the brain only can, and all the contract signing stuff.
Our special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman, who has signed on. You may remember him as the special counsel who put together the top 12 Samoa Joe matches of last week's episode.
Yeah.
He's the same Danny the Brain.
He knows, he's got the smarts where we don't. So he's going to sort this out, and then hopefully when I'm over there in the United States, we can get this guy. And even if he's from another country, we can get him in, and we will see who has more superior intellect as far as it goes for professional wrestling. And
yes, and it will be for all we can say. What we can say is this: if and when it happens, it will be for the inaugural Punks Talk Wrestling Superior Intellect in All Things Wrestling and Phil Collins Championship.
That's right.
That is the one thing we can say for certain.
So it's in the works. So during this, next week we'll probably have more information that we can go into, and I'm sure, the brain will have some. And I'm sure would have had some correspondence with the APC. Is that what we're going to call him now?
Yeah, yes. We'll just abbreviate it APC. Yeah, for APC herein known to as APC.
Yeah, the Anonymous Podcast Critic.
Because that's Anonymous Podcast Critic is a lot of syllables and a long hashtag. Also,
not that we care about long hashtags here.
You might not. Fucking collect. I've got a fucking book going of this.
Hashtag not that we care about long hashtags.
No, hashtag not that we care about long hashtags or nothing.
So that's that. Do you want to plug some social medias?
As soon as I finish writing this hashtag out. Was it long ass hashtags? Long ass.
Yeah, I mean, add another word. It just makes it longer. That's what she said.
Not that we care about long ass hashtags or nothing. Now that's not even. I can't. Nothing. But it's with an N. But it's without the G to save some space.
Yeah, but you can't put an apostrophe because that takes away the hashtag.
Yeah. What?
You want to plug some socials?
Yes, I do.
You're much better at that than I am, so go for it.
Yes. As of always. As it's always been.
Always?
As always. As of always. Follow us on social media. Leave your reviews. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikToks at Punks Talk Wrestling. Patreon.com/Punks Talk Wrestling, where you can listen to all of our uncut, uncensored, long-ass episodes for free.
That's right. This one's 2 hours and 19 minutes if you're on a...
Yeah, I mean, we should probably start paying you to listen to them, actually. But you can still sign up for it. You can still subscribe for free. It just is a thing you can do that gives us numbers that gives us a little, good feelings. That's cool. Do it. Tell other people about it, too.
Make me feel good.
Yeah, make us feel good. Push a little button that we'll get back to. We're craving the light. I don't fucking do it. Anyway, there's those places. You can do whatever you want. or not. Shout outs. Do we have any additional shout outs this week?
No, I don't think we do this week.
I don't think anything specific. No, that's other notes are from DMD, so that doesn't have to do with it. Hashtag not notes for this. We know what's happening next week. I'm getting up really fucking early Saturday. Okay, sometimes you gotta,
I've stayed up. I've stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning enough times.
That's true.
It's your fucking turn.
It is. I'm doing it for It's solidarity for the international community who has always had to watch live at inopportune times.
I guess
really thanks WWE for having all those events in Saudi Arabia that started in the early afternoon to
and late evening. Another great and in the evening for us here. That's a good time.
Really appreciate actually appreciate that. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Other than that, shout out to Jinder Mahal.
Of course.
The modern day Maharaja, the only person whom every episode of this podcast is, and forever will be dedicated to. And he'll be the first guest on this show because we will literally never take a guest
until we get him.
Yeah. So that's how we know. We'll make sure that he's the first guest.
If you could ask Jinder any question, what would it be?
Well, I better figure that out when we see him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you got to figure that out. That's
Other than that, I think that's.
I think we just. That's it.
You've got your. Do you want to do proper punk picks?
I don't have a PPPP this week.
Oh, no PPPP this one. All right. Well, then I guess we're done.
I just don't have any. So
all right.
Next week.
Yeah. All right. There you go. No, nothing. Then yeah. I guess we're done.